We're going in 3, 2, 1.
Whatever it takes.
Avengers Endgame, rated PG-13, everywhere Friday.
Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to another video, and in this video what I want to go over is, well, it's going to be a review going on to Avengers Endgame. Now, it's going to have no spoilers or anything, so it's going to be, 100% clear so we can speak about, the whole movie without ruining it. So, with all of that being said, I guess actually let's get into the review. So, kind of starting it off, I want to say really quickly, you should go and watch, this movie as soon as you can, because, there's going to be spoilers all over, the internet. There's going to be, spoilers on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and everything. They're going to be literally everywhere. So going on to the first kind of thing I want to go over for the review, it's going to be going on to the character arcs. Now, going on to them in general, it's a very nice kind of ending to all of the original Avengers. Now, I'm not going to mention anything, for any spoilers or whatever, but overall I want to say for the character arcs, and everything like that, I think they were done really well. The writing, everything along those lines was top tier. I thought all of that was just completely great. CGI wise, I don't think I actually noticed anything that was actually bad. Everything in the whole movie, I thought everything CGI wise, effects wise or whatever, I thought all of them were actually really good. I didn't notice anything that was bad. Now, to be fair, I'm very kind of bad at, depicting if it is going to be bad CGI. I'm always really bad at that. So I'm not too sure if there actually was, but overall for me, in my experience in watching it, there wasn't any bad scenes special effects wise. Now, there was no post-credit scene. There was nothing along those lines. There was no post-credit scene or mid-credit scene. So I believe that was also confirmed a few days ago. And now I done a video, or I was in a video or something. I know a lot of people went on and done videos for it. So there's going to be no post-credit scene or mid-credit scene in this movie. Now, for if this is going to be the best MCU movie or best comic book movie, I guess it's all kind of down to opinion. Now, me, honestly, from watching it one time only, I'm watching it again tomorrow, but either way, going back onto it, I don't really think it's going to be the best MCU movie. It's still going to be Civil War for me. Now, it all depends on opinion. Best comic book movie, it all depends on opinion. Again, it's different for every person. So I'm sure for a lot of people it will be their favorite MCU and comic book movie, but for me, honestly, I don't think it will be. Now, this movie is going to be obviously very serious. It's a very serious movie. Now, also going on to it, there was a load of funny moments in it. I'm not going to mention anything, but there was actually a surprising amount of funny moments. Now, honestly, I did expect there would be funny moments, but not as much as there was. There was an incredible amount of funny moments where I actually did laugh at it. Now, obviously, it is going to be a Marvel movie, so it always kind of happens at least a few times in a movie. But for this movie, considering it was 3 hours long, to me anyway, it seemed a lot more funnier, or, whatever. It seemed more funny to me anyway than other movies. I believe there might have been maybe 1 or 2 mentions to Back to the Future, which, honestly, I'm not going to mention anything, but I did really enjoy, those references. Now, for references in general, I'm pretty sure there actually was, quite a lot referencing other movies. Now, also going on to my next kind of point, going on to it, there's going to be a lot of explosions in this movie. Now, to me, it seemed a lot like Transformers, but it actually turned out really good. I actually really enjoyed it. Now, overall, for the massive battle scene, or, the ending fight, I'm not going to mention way too much about it, but I did think it was actually one of the best fights Marvel have ever done in a movie. Honestly, in my opinion, it was probably one of the best fights in a movie ever. Now, for the most powerful character in this movie, I believe it is going to be Captain Marvel. Now, I'm not going to mention way too much about her, I'm not going to mention at all, but overall, in my opinion, I always kind of preferred Thor. I always still kind of believe he's going to be stronger and more powerful in a sense, but she's showing really cool abilities. She's very strong in this movie, and that's all I'm going to say for Captain Marvel. Now, going on to my next point. There is going to be real danger in this movie. Now, what I mean by this is, going up against Thanos and everything, that's going to be a real danger. So overall, for all of those kind of things, that's just going to be the real danger going up against Thanos. All of this might not turn out, their plan or whatever. It might all fail, they all could die in the process. It's going to be just real danger in that kind of sense. My 3 favorite characters in this movie are going to be Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor. Now, all of them, they're pretty much the main OG Avengers anyway. They're the main Avengers I consider anyway. Now, going on to them, their stories and everything, I loved them. All of them, the real MVP of this movie is going to be Captain America, because in Infinity War, it is more likely going to be Iron Man. He's the main character you kind of focus on. Well, him and Thanos. But for this movie, it feels to me it's way more focused on Captain America. Now, one of my favorite parts of this movie is going to be going on to the Hulk stuff. Now, I'm not going to go on and mention anything for Hulk, but overall, he is probably one of my favorite characters as well. Now, I'm not going to mention, stuff what happened with him in the movie, but overall, all I can say for Hulk is he is very interesting, he's very different, and I basically just loved his character like that. The rewatchability of this movie is going to be insane. Now, for Infinity War, I believe I watched like the movie either 4 or 5 times. Now, I don't really remember which one it was, but I know for this movie, I'm going to see this movie, at least like 4 or 5 times as well, maybe 6 or 7, because honestly, it was such an amazing movie. You have to go back and go in detail. You have to look around, when there's something happening in the middle of the screen, and you have to kind of look around the screen to see what's happening in the background. I still have to go back and kind of see what's going to be happening there, but overall, I would say this movie is going to be, very, very much like rewatchable. It's going to be amazing to go back and rewatch it. Now, going on to my next point, it's going to be going on to how much money it will make. Now, I do believe it will break over 2 billion, but maybe 3 billion could happen. Now, I don't really know if it would happen, but I would love for it to happen. Now, I also do believe it will be in the top maybe 5 most, movies for the most money made. Now, for if it could beat Avatar, honestly, I would love for it to do that, but I'm just not really too sure if it would happen. Now, me honestly, I would recommend you go and see this movie in 2D. Now, there's nothing going to be wrong with like 3D, I just don't prefer going and seeing them in 3D. Now, overall, I saw maybe Jurassic World in 3D, and honestly, I didn't really think it was amazing in 3D. I would have preferred to see it in 2D. Now, for 2D movies, I always feel it's just much better. It's just easier to kind of watch it. I don't really know how everyone else feels, but then again, it is down to like preference. Which do you prefer? Because, me honestly, as I said, 2D, it just seems more appealing to me anyway. Now, one of my favorite things about this movie is it makes like the older MCU movies even better. Now, I'm not going to go on and mention or spoil anything, but it does make them better. Now, if you've seen the movie and you're watching this, you know exactly what I'm on about, but I'm not going to mention it, so I'll go on to my next point, which is going to be, would I recommend you go and watch this movie? Now, I would definitely highly, 100% recommend you go and see this movie as soon as possible. It is quite possibly going to be everyone's favorite MCU movie. It is probably going to be up in my top 3. Now, overall, for bathroom breaks and everything, there's probably no good time you should go out to the bathroom. Now, me honestly, I didn't leave. I never had to go. Now, then again, I didn't have anything to eat or anything to drink. Now, I would recommend you go in and you don't have food or anything, or if you get food, don't get a drink, because if you get a drink, you're going to more likely have to go and leave, which is just not going to be great. Because if you have to leave, you're more likely going to miss out on something like really important in the movie, which, you're obviously not going to want to do. Now, I'm not going to go away and kind of give this movie a score. I'm not going to do that. I don't really like doing that. Now, overall, I think this movie is amazing. I can't wait to go and watch it again. Now, then again, it has been pretty much everything I kind of wanted to go over in the review. So, obviously, I hope you enjoyed the review. I'll have more like Marvel videos post maybe tomorrow and like, in the future. Now, for the next movies or like next, videos, like they're going to more likely be on Spider-Man Far From Home, or maybe explainers for Endgame, because, there's just kind of so much stuff to go over in that movie, which I'm pretty sure no one will go over for at least like another maybe week. So, with all of that being said, if you want to and you're new around here, you can subscribe, leave a like and comment down below, and just subscribe for all the latest and greatest Marvel news. I already said that, but goodbye.